What's up, everybody?
Hi. That wasn't a good heart. Okay.
I wasn't a.
Oh,
You,
there's a
you
good.
do
That's a
have a
good
good
one.
heart. Oh, okay.
Oh.
That heart.
Oh,
Oh,
that's how we're gonna do this video,
yeah.
huh?
How's everybody doing?
Hi, everyone.
We hope
Everybody.
everyone had a wonderful weekend.
Yes.
So it's us again. We're the Williams.
Hello.
My beautiful wife Ramona. My name is
Hello.
William. I'm sorry. Let's see. How did I do it the last time? Yeah, Wilbert, aka Will Williams. So we just want to just say, what's up? I'm just going all off course.
It's okay. Get us back on course.
Get us back on course. Okay. So here we go. So we're here once again just to give our perspective on, our lives and what works well for us with another edition of Love Unscripted. Thank you for allowing us to come into your day, your afternoon, your morning, your night, whatever day you're taking time out to hear our perspective on what works well for us, our marriage, our covenant, our good blessing, my good thing,
My good thing.
and today's topic is face your finances. So I'm going to pitch this over to my loving wife. She is definitely a numbers person, and she's got
Really? Okay. So I'm really not a numbers person.
Oh.
I am a focused person and goal.
Well,
yes,
I like that.
A goal-driven person.
Right.
And whenever it's something that I want, I just go for it. And so I get where you're saying like you're a numbers person, but really I can do without the numbers. I'm more of a reading person, right?
That's true.
Can we talk about this hat for a second? So I just like 30 seconds. I'm like, yes, this is a good topic. A lot of families, marriages struggle in the area of finances. It causes a lot of rift and conflict sometimes, and even can cause divorce. So, very serious topic.
Yeah.
Then my husband comes out the room with his hat and this jacket that he like literally had to pull out of the back of the closet for this video. So I laughed at him, and he even asked me if I wanted to wear it. I said no. So it's all you.
Yeah,
it's Bermuda for me right now.
Yeah. So this is it's not just a Texas thing. It's not just just a Longhorn thing, but it's an everybody thing when you come to having to face your finances. I think that it's important. Like
oh, you just got us back on track. I'm like, where is he going? Okay. Yes. Okay. Great. Let's keep it going.
I think I lost my train of thought, but
it's an everybody thing.
It's an everybody thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter where you are in life. You know, if you're that person who's responsible for you or responsible with someone, it's one of those things that you just have to deal with. You've got to you need to face the finances, because that's a pivotal part of not only the I can say the global perspective, but your home, your city you live in, the job you're on. All these things are a part of that. Your whole world is surrounded or inclusive of dealing with finances every single day of the week.
Yeah.
So
with our video today, I really, really wanted to hit on finances again. I pitched the idea to my husband, and we kind of went back and forth on it, because we did a video at the beginning of the year that also dealt with finances, talking about budgeting, like think some of the things that you should do as a couple as it relates to your finances. But this one's going to have just a different spin on it, just basically talking about the importance of doing it, especially this time of the year. And so it is so important to be able to sit down with your spouse and have a conversation, and not only have a conversation, but think about what are those goals and those dreams, and finance wise, and then put an action plan into place, and then take action on it. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, that a lot of marriages struggle in the area of finances, and finances, I think, has been something that is taboo. Either both people came into a relationship and it was like, oh, okay, I really haven't talked about finances much growing up or even in my adult life, and then you get together with somebody who hasn't, and then here we are. It's almost like I don't know how to explain it, but you know how you repel each other in your thought process. I'm thinking about like magnets and how you put. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. I'm not a science person either, so how about not do that? But I'm just thinking about
Negative
how.
and
Yes,
positive.
yes. Perfect. Um, and it doesn't allow you to get into the mindset of discussing finances with your spouse. And do know this, just like any other thing that you don't put a focus on, it's not going to grow. Especially when you're coming together as a couple, it's really important for you to put focus on it. Spend some time to talk about finances. Spend a little bit of time to talk about even how what is your perspective on finances and handling your money, and how it should be handled. So
Exactly.
okay.
I think that it's important to have a focus to where, your finances don't consume you.
Yeah.
We say, we consume finances, but finances will consume you. It will control you. It will dictate to you what to do, how to do,
What you can and what you can't
where
do.
you can go, where you can't go,
Yeah.
what you can, consider and what you can't consider. It'll do all of those things. It will consume you
That's a great point.
because if you don't focus on it right now, we're in a point in the year, and it happens every single year,
Yeah.
where so many households get into so much debt because their finances have consumed them. They're just
Because of the holidays? Is that what
yeah,
you're saying?
exactly. You're you're put under so much, thrown so much propaganda for the holidays, the Thanksgiving, the Christmas, the New Year. It's all how to say, bundled in that one end of the year, and that sucks the life out of your finances if you let it. So you've got to be focused this time of the year. Be concerned about your spending and where it's going. No one's saying don't enjoy the holiday. No one's saying don't spend on the holiday.
Yeah.
But what we suggest is that you be reasonable and do what's necessary and enjoy it, because you don't want to come out on the other side of the new year with worry,
Yeah.
because that creates a heavy load.
Yeah. To
All
begin the new year, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
with weight on your shoulders because you put yourself in so much debt trying to impress so many people with things that they're going to spend using maybe a week, and then it'll become part of the furniture, maybe, or a clothes rack, or I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
So be reasonable with what you're doing. You want to see your next year better than this year. You don't want to be that repeat offender when it comes to throwing away money that you wish you hadn't.
Repeat offender. And then the only way that you don't do it is not to do it.
Yeah.
Right? To make a decision not to do it. And that's where, when I mentioned were you finished, babe?
Well, I was gonna say, we get into we we cross that bridge where we spend more than what we have, It's time. People say cross the bridge. Well, you know what? You don't always have to cross that bridge. Stay home. You don't have to go to the other side of the bridge. I mean, it's fun, but if you do go, don't bring the whole bank. Don't bring the whole money bag with you. Just decide on what you're gonna do before you get there. Make sure it's not unreasonable. Make sure it's not over the top, and come back to something. It's something that has what's the word I'm gonna look for? Some type of substance to it or money in it, and that way it's not a negative. Don't come back to a negative account and you know shout and jump and be excited for a moment, and then you go back and you look at the negative account. You can't even write a check to to pay a light bill. Who does that?
So you were basically saying, don't spend money that you don't have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, in a roundabout way.
In a roundabout way.
But trying to bring it home to you. Keep it at home. That's all I'm saying. Focus on your finances.
So keep it at home. So I think my husband was very to the point.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Can I take it back to a way that can make it possible? Because I think when we get into the habit of a certain type of spending, it's easier to do that, right? If we don't change our mindset or change our habits around how we spend, because what you're talking about to me sounds like a habit, right?
Plan.
Yeah, so it sounds like a habit. Mm-hmm. So, there is this whole mindset shift that has to happen, because if you're used to spending money, and this could be for the wife or the husband or for both, if you're used to spending money in such a way that once you have finished spending, you either have nothing left, have less left than you would desire to have left, or you have overspent and now you're digging into credit cards, and I think it's going a little bit more deeper than I wanted to, but you're digging into credit cards and overdraft fees and borrowing money and all that kind of stuff. It really does require a mindset shift. Now, when you're married, you're talking about two people that either have to have a mindset shift or a come to Jesus talk. Well, definitely a mindset shift.
Let me throw this in right quick, because you're no longer two, but you are one. Yeah. Don't get out there and shout with your eyes so big that you can't see into next year, and then you go into next year blind because you don't have nothing to focus or use or take with you.
And so, yes, I absolutely agree on that thought. The other thing that I was going to say is the idea of planning, right? Planning so that you don't get into planning so you don't get to a position where it's the end of the year or at any point of the year and you have gone down a path that you didn't expect to go down, right? And so you can create a plan. You can create a plan. Matter of fact, that's what we were just doing over this past week. We were creating our financial plan, what we wanted things to look like financially, what some of our financial goals were, where's retirement, investment money, all that good stuff, where it would go. But guess what? If we had not sat down to even at least talk about it, there wouldn't even be action towards it. No, let me take that back. There could be action towards it. It could be action that might not be as intentional, and we could have benefited more from the money that we worked so hard for if we had a plan in place. And so we're like, guess what? And this is not something new for us. It's what we've been doing. It's actually a little bit before we even got married, together, coming up with what that plan looks like. And let me tell you this, every year it gets better.
Absolutely.
It gets easier. And then you realize as a couple, to win financially when so many other couples are failing financially, and it causes them, and it's causing, like I said, strife and divorce and destruction in the home. It causes stress. It causes health issues, all of this stuff. It is so powerful to know that, hey, if we can defeat the things that could potentially come against us as a couple in our finances, man, we
Mm-hmm.
could defeat a whole bunch of things together.
You know, and there are couples that may sit, or individuals that sit back and go, you know what? If I had more money, if I made more money, if I
Ooh.
had this amount of money, or they can do
Yes.
that because they have that amount of money. Well, you don't
Yes.
know what it took they to get to where they are,
Right.
but you definitely have, you know, any two ways you're bringing in income, there's an opportunity for you to build it.
Yeah.
Any way you bring it, you know, well, make sure it's legal. But I'll
Good
just
point. Good
just throw
point.
that joke out there.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not joking. Make sure it's legal. But you can build that income. Each time you do it, each time you focus on it, and it becomes a habit. It gets better and better and better. And so, you know, you're not looking at someone else going, "I wish I had, I wish I knew, I wish I did."
Mm-hmm.
Well, you have. You just gotta focus. You've just gotta make sure that you utilize it correctly. Do the right things with it and watch.
Yeah.
It'll begin to grow. It'll begin to be a lot more not so heavy on the conscious, because
Yeah.
it'll be a habit that you know that whatever debt you may have had, because by that time you're going to be out of debt, whatever debt, if you focus, will be gone. And then you'll begin to see a rise making the same amount of money, and hopefully you get raises every year wherever you are, or your finances increase with the business that you own. You'll see that if you be intentional, it'll your coins will begin to stack, your dollars will begin to build, and you'll look back and be thankful that you developed a really good habit of focusing on your finances and facing them head on and not letting them control you. You control it.
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good point. Because being able to focus on your finances and looking them almost like looking them straight in the eye. Oh, let me say this, and I'll come back to that. I want you to know we do understand also that there are other things that are required in order to get to certain points, right? We know that there are other things that's necessary to get out of debt, you know, budgeting, being able to say no to certain things, being able to cut expenses here, potentially increasing other forms of income, or you know, there are a lot of different little nuances that actually go into this. But our whole point is sometimes we just don't want to face our finances. Either we don't want to face it or we don't understand how necessary it is to face them. I don't care um, if your finances or if a person's finances are in complete shambles, if you don't do any, if that person doesn't do anything about them, they're going to remain in complete shambles. It does not matter that you think about it like, oh man, I wish I wasn't in this position. Until you take action, nothing, until that person takes action, nothing is going to happen. You'll see the same thing next year, I promise you. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you will get more money next year. I keep saying you. That person might earn more money the next year, but doesn't do anything about their finances. And guess what? Your finances will still be in the state that they were before you received that additional money.
That's
Right?
good. Right.
Yeah. So just knowing that that is the starting point, saying I'm going to face my finances. And sometimes it might have to be one of the other spouse to
Mm-hmm.
come into the picture and say, look, okay, look, time out, time out. Let's look at something. If it is causing havoc, if it's something that is not as desirable as you would want it to be in your marriage, let's talk about it. Somebody has to come to the table and bring it to the table, because it really is time out for you not for people to not be able to live the life that they are destined or they are desired to live, because it's difficult, because it does take discipline. It does take consistency, but it's you were capable.
Mm-hmm.
I keep going back between you and people, but
Yeah.
you understand what I'm saying.
You know, I'm sure all of us have been in some situations where our finances have gotten to you're looking in there, you can't even
Come on,
take a penny out of the bucket,
come on.
and you can't pick a penny out of the bucket.
Yeah,
I just made that
I love
up. But what ends up happening is you make yourself a it's like a lion watching the weakest person or animal on a safari or and and then attacking you. That's what banks will do.
it.
That's what these lenders will do. These
Predatory lenders.
predatory lenders. These phone calls will do. These these TV commercials. Friends. That will tell you, hey, let's do this. Let go ahead and spend this now, and then let's you're gonna get this back in income tax. So you start spending your income tax this year, and it's not even until you don't file. That's not your friend. You don't file until April. But hey, don't worry, you're gonna get this back. You don't get this amount in taxes because that's a practice. That's a poor practice of focusing of handling your finances. Year after year after year, you become a repeat victim. And so don't be that. Don't put yourself in a position where you are a victim year after year after year. Focus on your finances. Face them now and prevent yourself. You become the big lion in the jungle. You become the king in your home. You become the king of your finances.
That's good. That's good. So I challenge I challenge any couple that is watching this and any person who this will be shared to focus on your finances. And honestly, I don't care what state they're in. I don't care if you are already a millionaire and you're watching this video and you're like, man, I could probably be a billionaire. I could probably make sure that even though I have these millions, that I'm also leaving a legacy behind. There's so many. You can always level up when it comes to your finances, and I don't care if it's on the other end where you don't have what is it they say, two sticks to rub together. Is that a saying?
Two nickels or something like that.
I don't know, something like that. But maybe there's not a lot that is available to you because of whatever financial decisions were made or whatever your position is in. And let me say this too, not always are we the cause of situations that we're in financial. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes things happen and they're unfortunate things, but you can be the catalyst for changing those things around. So I challenge every single couple that will watch this or a single person to face your finances. Say, this is going to be the year, and this is not like one of those challenges where um, this is from the heart challenge. This is because I know it can be done. This is because we know it can be done.
Right.
Otherwise, we wouldn't even have this conversation as a topic, right?
Correct.
We know it is possible. We know the impact it will have on your marriage if you are a married couple. When you are on the same page with your finances, you have decided to face them. The generational wealth you'll be able to leave behind, the peace that you will have in your home. So I'm speaking all of those things into your life, that you will be able to live in abundance. You will be able to have peace in your home. You will be less stressed. You will not be concerned about going to a 9 to 5 that you don't like all the time and have the option and not the obligation to say, you know what? Okay, this is not what I need to do because it's not healthy for me. And know that financially it's not going to be the end of everything that you have going, that you will be able to think about and generate other streams of income for your household, that you will be able to be the lender and not the borrower.
Come on now.
Right? And so I challenge you. It is so possible. It is so possible for you to be in a different place this time next year. I know if you're on social media, you see that this time 6 months from now you can be in a different place. Well, guess what? That I agree with. If you are intentional, consistent, disciplined about it, and you just face your finances, start wherever you are. Just being honest with yourself,
Yeah.
like, hey, this is where we are.
So don't let your finances rule you. Rule your finances.
Yep, rule your finances.
Because if it rules you, it could ruin you.
Oh.
So we say hope to you all and blessings to you all. You're no longer two, but you're one.
If it rules you, it could ruin you. That's a mic drop on that one. Give me. Love you, baby.
Love you too.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, great talking to you guys. See you next time. Peace.
I feel like we should have some outro music.